It's time to refresh your yard during spring backyard days at the Home Depot. Get low prices guaranteed on propane grills starting at $179, like the Next Grill 3-burner gas grill. Or get $50 off a select Weber Spirit Grill and bring big flavor to your backyard. Then set the scene with Hampton Bay string lights that bring it all together. Shop spring backyard days for 7 days at the Home Depot, now through May 6th. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Comcast is delivering extraordinary experiences in live sports through the incredible broadcast and storytelling from NBC, innovative and personalized viewing features on Xfinity and Peacock, and the country's most reliable Wi-Fi. Viewers can enjoy every game-changing play faster and more seamlessly than ever, all on a network built to deliver unforgettable moments as close to live as possible. The ultimate experience for the American sports fan. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com/sports.
Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is $2.50, so you can get your gym gains on, or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Now that the draft is over, the Eagles have brought in quite a few names as undrafted free agents, and I think we need to talk about at least a couple of these names. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Cover news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, jointly produced by the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network and the STT Sports Network on YouTube. Guys, Phil Stifle here as always. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Whatever buttons are on your device, however you're listening or watching this episode of the Eagles Checkdown, click the buttons. It's free to do. It costs you nothing to support your favorite local content creators and these two great channels. That's where you got to do it. And make sure you tune in live, trending in the AM Monday through Friday on the STT Sports Network. It's where you can bring your thoughts and opinions to everything we talk about here and everything else happening in Philadelphia sports. There's a lot of stuff happening in Philadelphia sports. That's where you can bring your thoughts and opinions right there to the table. That's your show. That's the People's Morning Show right there. All right. It is now a couple days past the draft. The Eagles have brought in about 9 undrafted free agents, invited a half a dozen or more to rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp is a couple weeks away in early May. So let's talk about it. First off, there's not an exact date listed online that I could find when rookie minicamp will be, but May 20th is when OTAs start, voluntary OTAs for the Eagles. So sometime between now and then, there'll be the rookie minicamp. And the Eagles have brought in quite a few names, and I want to go into a couple of them because I think there's a couple of intriguing options here that could be long shots to make this Eagles roster. And undrafted free agents don't typically do that. But the Eagles lost one of those, undrafted free agents this offseason, and Reed Blankenship. He was a safety, undrafted free agent that we brought in, and he's parlayed that after 4 years of being in Philadelphia to a very nice, sizable free agent contract with the Houston Texans. Well, they brought in another free agent, undrafted free agent safety from Wofford University, Maximus Pulley. First off, a name like Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the high armies of the North, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife. I will have my vet net. Anyway, you get the quote. A name like Maximus is awesome. A name like Maximus is just why I wanted VJ Payne to be drafted at safety, because we wanted to bring the pain. But while Maximus Pulley is a slightly undersized safety, he had a very impressive pro day leading up to the draft. There's a lot of linking him to Reed Blankenship, mainly because of the undrafted free agent status. Howie is not going to add to the safety room yet. He's going to let OTAs and minicamp play out, and even the start of training camp, I think, before he trades for somebody or brings in another free agent. He's going to let, some of these names like Pulley and Marcus Epps and Drew Makuba and Michael Carter, see what they could do first before he continues to add to that room. Another name they brought in, also like Uar Bernard, through the International Pathway Program. They brought in rugby player from Kenya, Josh Weru, okay? He's listed as an edge rusher, no football experience, had an amazing pro day, okay? Vertical jump, the 40-yard dash, the broad jump, just a freak athlete, right? And obviously, we've had success with Jordan Mailata coming and making a transition from rugby to the NFL. So is Josh Weru going to make the team? Maybe, maybe not. But they definitely see a lot of potential with this International Pathway Program and also rugby players making that transition. So in a department, the edge department, where the Eagles seem to lack depth from time to time, it's a great opportunity there. Jalen Roberts, a guard from Alabama, projected to be drafted in the 4th or 5th round, brought in a guy that started 25 games at right guard for Alabama. We are weak on backup guard depth. He's got a chance to make the team. Tight end from Ole Miss, DeQuain Wright, was brought in as an undrafted free agent. I think this guy could actually make the team. He had a 5th-round grade by a lot of people right there. He is not the biggest tight end at 6'3", 246, but he's a dynamic, vertical threat. He can threaten the defenses with the way he catches and runs after the catch. Excuse me. Got to work on his blocking, just like Eli Stower, but you know what? I think he can make the team. Some other names, you had another safety, Tucker Large, Deontay Lawson, another undersized linebacker from Alabama, Kapina Gushikin from Ole Miss, a defensive back. We do not have a long snapper on our roster. They did bring in an undrafted free agent, Rocco Underwood, long snapper from Florida, a little bit bigger than previous long snappers we've had. At this point, he's the biggest lock to make the roster out of all these guys because they don't have anybody else in there. So Rocco Underwood, another really cool name. Isaiah King, linebacker from Idaho, another undrafted free agent signing that the Eagles have made, another undersized guy. A lot of undersized guys brought in here overall, so it's really interesting. Also, some of these names had very high raw athletic scores. Josh Weru, 8.69, Kapina Gushkin, 9.2, Rocco Underwood, the long snapper, 9.93, something the Eagles like. They also brought in a whole bunch of names also for rookie minicamp. They just, invites here. One name stands out, obviously, because of a connection to Philly, from Incarnate Ward, Declan Williams, a linebacker. What's the connection? Well, for Phillies fans out there, Mitchie Poo himself, the wild thing, Mitch Williams, is his father. So there's that little thing. That'll be another little added thing there to kind of, maybe root for this guy there, because, we all love the wild thing. So that's the names that have been brought in. That's the names you're going to see. Like I said, some of these guys are going to be competing for roster spots. Most of them will not. But at safety, edge, guard, these are places where there's still holes on this team that Howie is going to wait the next month or two to see how things play out, in my humble opinion, before, anything else happens. Anyway, I want to shout out one other person, my man Anthony DeBona, Philly special. Love him. I've mentioned him before. He's one of the best up-and-comers that cover the Eagles out there. Get this guy some credentials. Get him asking questions at these press conferences. But he got into the most random Twitter beef battle the other day that just blows my mind. Boston Scott put out a cryptic tweet about 25, 23, and half of 21. The 3 down years, or 2.5 down years in the Nick Sirianni era. Then, DeBona just put out a random comment saying, why can't athletes just not be cryptic and just say what they mean? And Boston Scott went at him, talking about how, it's unfair that Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Brian Johnson, Kevin Petula get all the blame for the struggles, but none of the success. And he failed to put in Nick Sirianni's name. What's Boston Scott's beef with Nick Sirianni? And I don't understand the beef with Anthony DeBona either. It was just weird. But, I think Boston Scott was wrong there for calling out Anthony DeBona for just asking for some straightforward answers. And Boston Scott, what's he got a problem with Nick Sirianni? I mean, he only had success in the NFL because of Nick Sirianni. So it is what it is. I just wanted to throw that out there. Shout out Anthony DeBona. Everybody have a great day. Go Birds. We'll talk tomorrow. And bubbles up.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You don't wash your jersey during a win streak. You don't switch seats when your team's up big. And you definitely don't shave during the playoffs. When things are working, you don't change them. That's why when you drink Jägermeister, you drink it ice cold. Anything else? Well, that'd just be bad luck. Drink it cold or don't drink it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold.
Drink responsibly. Jägermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume. Imported by Mast Jägermeister, U.S. White Plains, New York.
You tell yourself, no one wants your college-era band tees. But on Depop, people are searching for exactly what you've got. You once paid a small fortune for them at merch stands. Now, a teenager who calls them vintage will offer that same small fortune back. Sell them easily on Depop. Just snap a few photos and we'll take care of the rest. Who knew your questionable music taste would be a money-making machine? Your style can make you cash. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
AI is moving fast across the enterprise. But without visibility, it's just chaos. Different tools, different models, different teams using AI in completely different ways. ServiceNow turns that chaos into control. With the AI Control Tower, you see all your AI across the business in one place. What it's doing, what it's done, and what it's about to do. So you stay in control. To put AI to work for people, visit ServiceNow.com.
Now streaming. Disney Plus invites you to go behind the scenes with Taylor Swift in an exclusive 6-episode docuseries.
I wanted to give something to the fans that they didn't expect. The only thing left is to close the book.
The end of an era. And don't miss Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the final show, featuring for the first time the Tortured Poets Department. Now streaming, only on Disney Plus.